Right now, we are working to learn more as a U.S. defense official tells CBS News active duty soldiers are on standby for possible deployment to Minnesota. The official says about 1,500 soldiers have been put on standby in Alaska. This comes days after President Donald Trump said he is considering invoking the Insurrection Act, which gives him the authority to deploy armed forces domestically. This also comes as the Minnesota National Guard is mobilized to be on standby as well, but they also have not been deployed. Officials from the Public Safety Department say if they are activated, members will be wearing reflective vests to identify them over other agencies. This comes as the latest CBS News poll shows more than half of people find the shooting of Renee Good not justified. 53% of those responding said that. 28% of those responding say it was justified, and 17% say it's too soon to say. Meanwhile, a second CBS News poll found that more than half of people think ICE operations should be, quote, decreased following recent events in Minneapolis. 53% of people said decreased, a quarter said activity should be increased, and 22% say it shouldn't change at all. Counter-protesters clashed with anti-Muslim and pro-ICE demonstrators in the streets of Minneapolis yesterday. Clashes between the two groups turned violent at times. Our Frankie McLister was there. He has been reporting on ICE activity throughout the state, including in Wilmer, and he joins us right now. Frankie?
Yeah, hi there, Esme. Outside of City Hall and the Federal Courthouse Plaza, right here in downtown Minneapolis, there was a large crowd of counter-protesters facing demonstrators that were also praising ICE. Now, among those praising the federal agency and shouting anti-Muslim slurs was a man named Jake Lang, and Lang was charged for assaulting an officer in the January 6th riot before being pardoned by President Trump. As time passed, they left the city hall and stormed through the downtown streets where the crowd followed. The whole mob then stopped outside of Hotel Indigo, where Lang appeared to run inside the building, bleeding. Minneapolis police later asking the crowd outside of the hotel to clear, and everyone then circled back to the city hall and eventually did just that.
This latest assault of Minneapolis with the ICE agents, it's completely insane, and we're hoping that we send a message to the administration.
Be here in America if you're legal. If you're not legal, work on your citizenship.
Now, Lang posted online that he was stabbed at yesterday's event. Minneapolis police now say that they didn't receive a report of any injuries. MPD does also add that in general, crowds were responsive to their directives. Now, as the federal crackdown continues in Minnesota, many of the headlines have seemed to focus right here on the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. But however, greater Minnesota is also feeling the impacts of the immigration crackdown as well. Now, on Friday, we headed 2 hours west of Wilmer, where this video here shows a teen being detained in its downtown last Wednesday. Now, agents in the diverse area of nearly 21,000 also ate at a Mexican restaurant that same day. After eating, they later returned and detained the restaurant's two owners and a dishwasher. The owner's 20-year-old son spoke to me. He didn't want to go on camera, but says he opened the restaurant just yesterday under his own leadership. We ran into someone outside who wanted to show the restaurant support.
So I also work at one of the main liquor stores around here, and just in the first few days that this has started, we've lost like 3/4 of our business. People are afraid to come in. If this goes on too much longer, I don't know how they're going to be able to keep paying us.
So Wilmer is not the only spot outside of the metro that we've heard agents be cited. We've received reports as far as up in Detroit Lakes, Melrose, St. Cloud, and down in Rochester as well. Esme?
Thank you so much, Frankie. Well, new this morning, we've learned that the Veteran Affairs Office at the Federal Whipple Building is temporarily closed. That's according to the VA's website. Services are still available virtually or at the Minneapolis VA. The Whipple Building has been the site of many protests since additional immigration enforcement has arrived. It's unclear what the reason for the closure is. Subpoenas are expected to be issued soon for Governor Walz and Mayor Frey. The Department of Justice accuses them of obstructing their federal officers, but both leaders say they will not be intimidated. Legal experts say this is an example of the president using the DOJ for personal goals. A short time ago, I spoke to Mayor Frey. Have you been notified? Have you gotten a subpoena?
We haven't gotten anything, but obviously it's problematic in that the targeting would be the product of me performing one of the most basic duties that I have as mayor, which is speaking on behalf of the residents of our city.
A Justice Department spokesperson declined to comment. You have seen protests against ICE on the street, but Minnesota's battle against the federal surge is also playing out in federal court. Less than 48 hours ago, the ACLU won a victory in their lawsuit when federal judge Kate Menendez ruled that ICE cannot take the following actions against peaceful protesters. The judge's order says there can be no ICE retaliation against protesters, no detaining people without probable cause unless they are obstructing agents or committing a crime, no using pepper spray on a peaceful protest, and allowing drivers to follow ICE agents' vehicles at a safe distance. The second federal lawsuit against ICE was filed late last week by the state of Minnesota and the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. It seeks to stop ICE activity throughout the state.